Mount Everest, mountain on the crest of the Great Himalayas of southern Asia that lies on the border between Nepal and the Tibet Autonomous Region of China at 2759 and 8656 E, reaching an elevation of 29,032 feet 8 for 9 meters. Mount Everest is the highest mountain in the world. Like other high peaks in the region, Mount Everest has long been revered by local peoples. Its most common Tibetan name, Komalungma, means Goddess Mother of the World or Goddess of the Valley. The Sanskrit name Sagarmatha means literally Peak of Heaven. Its identity as the highest point on the Earth's surface was not recognized, however, until 1852, when the Governmental Survey of India established that fact. In 1865, the mountain previously referred to as Peak 15 was renamed for Sir George Everest, British Surveyor General of India from 1830 to 1843. According to etymological sources, the mountain's western name is often mispronounced Est or EVEREST, despite the pronunciation of Sir George Everest's surname being EVEREST. The Himalayan ranges were thrust upward by tectonic action as the Indian-Australian plate moved northward from the south and was subducted forced downward under the Eurasian plate, following the collision of the two plates between about 40 and 50 million years ago. The Himalayas themselves started rising about 25 to 30 million years ago, and the Great Himalayas began to take their present form during the Pleistocene epoch about 2,600,000 to 11,700 years ago. Everest and its surrounding peaks are part of a large mountain massif that forms a focal point, or not, of this tectonic action in the Great Himalayas. Information from global positioning instruments in place on Everest since the late 1990s indicates that the mountain continues to move a few inches to the northeast and rise a fraction of an inch each year. Everest is composed of multiple layers of rock folded back on themselves naps. Rock on the lower elevations of the mountain consists of metamorphic schists and gneisses, topped by igneous granites. Higher up are found sedimentary rocks of marine origin, remnants of the ancient floor of the Tethys Sea that closed after the collision of the two plates. Notable is the Yellow Band, a limestone formation that is prominently visible just below the summit pyramid. The barren southeast, northeast, and west ridges culminate in the Everest summit. A short distance away is the south summit, a minor bump on the southeast ridge with an elevation of 28,700 feet 7 for 8 meters. The mountain can be seen directly from its northeastern side, where it rises about 12,000 feet 600 meters above the plateau of Tibet. The peak of Changsa 803 feet 560 meters rises to the north. Khumbuts 867 feet 665
meters, Nups 25,791 feet 7,861 meters, and Lots 27,940 feet 8,516 meters surround Everest's base to the west and south. Everest is shaped like a three-sided pyramid. The three generally flat planes constituting the sides are called faces, and the line by which the faces join is known as a ridge. The north face rises above Tibet and is bounded by the North Ridge, which meets the Northeast Ridge and the West Ridge. Key features of this side of the mountain include the Great
and Hornby Kulwa steep gullies and the North Col at the start of the North Ridge. The southwest face rises above Nepal and is bounded by the West Ridge and the Southeast Ridge. Notable features on this side include the South Col at the start of the Southeast Ridge and the Khumbu Ice Fall, the latter a jumble of large blocks of ice that has long been a
daunting challenge for climbers. The east face or Kangshung face also rises above Tibet and is bounded by the Southeast Ridge and the Northeast Ridge.
Glaciers cover the slopes of Everest to its base. Individual glaciers flanking the mountain are the Kangshung Glacier to the east, central, and west Rongbuk Rongpa glaciers to the north and northwest, the Pamori Glacier to the northwest, and the Khumbu Glacier to the west and south, which is fed by the glacier bed of the Western Khum, an enclosed valley of ice between Everest and the Lots Nups Ridge to the south. Glacial action has been the primary force behind the heavy and continuous erosion of Everest and the other high Himalayan peaks. The mountain's drainage pattern radiates to the southwest, north, and east. The Khumbu Glacier melts into the Labuja River of Nepal, which flows southward as the Imja River to its confluence with the Dud Kosi River. In Tibet, the Rong River originates from the Pamori and Rongbuk glaciers, and the Kama River from the Kangshung Glacier. Both flow into the Arun River, which cuts through the Himalayas into Nepal. The Rong, Dud, Kosi, and Kama River valleys form, respectively, the northern, southern, and eastern access routes to the summit. The climate of Everest is always hostile to living things. The warmest average daytime temperature in July is only about -2 F19C on the summit. In January, the coldest month, summit temperatures average -33 F36C and can drop as low as -76 F60C. Storms can come up suddenly and temperatures can plummet unexpectedly. The peak of Everest is so high that it reaches the lower limit of the jet stream, and it can be buffeted by sustained winds of more than 100 miles (160 kilometers per hour). Precipitation falls as snow during the summer monsoon late May to mid-September. The risk of frostbite to climbers on Everest is extremely high.